Ever wondered how ancient Egypt went from small groups of hunter-gatherers to one of the most legendary civilizations in human history? Today, we're taking you on a journey spanning thousands of years, uncovering the stories of pharaohs, pyramids, gods, battles, and mysteries that still captivate the world. Thousands of years ago, the Sahara was not a desert. It was a lush, green land, a paradise of lakes, rivers, and savannas. Imagine waking up to migrating birds, wild animals roaming freely, and rivers teeming with fish. Early humans were hunter-gatherers, hunting game, fishing, and gathering grains. They also domesticated animals, goats, sheep, and cattle, and began building simple mud brick homes. They crafted pottery, jewelry from shells and bones, and tools for hunting and cooking. Religion was already emerging. Humans worshipped the sun, rivers, and stars, recognizing nature as sacred. Life was simple, but it laid the foundation of Egyptian culture, which would flourish for millennia. If you love uncovering ancient mysteries, hit subscribe now to join us on this incredible journey through time. Around 6000 BCE, the Green Sahara began to dry, forcing people to migrate toward the Nile Valley, the only fertile land left. The Nile became the lifeline of civilization, providing water, fertile soil, and a transportation route. Villages formed, and agriculture flourished. Crops like wheat, barley, flax, and vegetables were grown, and animals were raised not just for food, but for religious rituals. By 4800 to 4300 BCE, early Egyptian communities, like Merimde, had urban centers with streets, markets, and mud brick houses. Religion was deeply integrated into daily life, with gods like Ra, the sun god, and Osiris, god of the afterlife, becoming central to society. Festivals were celebrated to honor the gods and ensure prosperity, while magic and rituals were used to protect crops, homes, and families. Egypt eventually split into Upper, South, and Lower, North regions. Upper Egypt was ruled by warrior kings wearing the white crown, and Lower Egypt focused on trade, wearing the red crown. Around 3100 BCE, King Narmer, also known as Menes, unified the two regions, becoming the first pharaoh. He was both political and religious leader, claiming to embody Horus, the sky god. The new capital, Memphis, became the heart of Egyptian civilization. The unification marked the beginning of the Old Kingdom, lasting roughly 500 years. Pharaohs were considered divine, and monumental architecture defined this era. Imhotep, a genius architect, built the Step Pyramid of Djoser, the first stone pyramid. Later, the Giza pyramids and the Great Sphinx became symbols of Egypt's power and ingenuity. Life was busy, yet ritualistic. Farmers worked fields while festivals celebrated gods and pharaohs. Hieroglyphics became the formal writing system, used for history, religious texts, and administration. Schools trained scribes to write on papyrus scrolls, preserving knowledge for future generations. Pharaoh Pepi II, who became king at age 6, ruled for decades. His reign saw droughts and local autonomy, eventually leading to the collapse of the Old Kingdom and the First Intermediate Period. From chaos arose the Middle Kingdom. Pharaoh Mentuhotep II reunited Egypt, boosting agriculture and trade. Religion became personal. Osiris promised an afterlife, giving ordinary Egyptians hope. Tombs became more elaborate, and literature flourished, emphasizing wisdom, morality, and leadership. The 12th dynasty was the peak of this era. Pharaohs like Amenemhat I moved the capital to Ich-Tawi, improving control over Upper and Lower Egypt. Trade flourished, importing gold, ebony, incense, and exotic animals from Nubia and the Near East. The 13th dynasty saw political instability, paving the way for the Hyksos, Semitic people from the Levant. They brought horse-drawn chariots, bronze weapons, and military techniques that revolutionized warfare in Egypt. After decades, Ahmose I expelled the Hyksos, establishing the new kingdom, Egypt's golden era. The 18th dynasty began with rulers like Hatshepsut, the first female pharaoh. She prioritized trade, architecture, and diplomacy, building her mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari. Her successor, Thutmose III, expanded Egypt militarily, conquering territories in Syria and Nubia, earning him the title Napoleon of ancient Egypt. Then came Akhenaten, who attempted monotheism, worshipping Aten, the sun disk. His radical reforms upset priests and nobles, but after his death, Tutankhamun restored traditional gods. King Tut became world famous when his tomb was discovered in 1922, revealing treasures like the golden death mask, chariots, jewelry, and ceremonial weapons, a true window into ancient luxury. Ramesses II, the Great, ruled for 66 years. He fought the Battle of Kadesh, built temples like Abu's Simbel, and expanded Egypt's influence across the Near East. Later, New Kingdom pharaohs struggled to maintain power, facing invasions from Nubians, Libyans, and Assyrians. But life in Egypt wasn't only about kings and battles. Farmers planted crops along the Nile, artisans crafted statues, jewelry, and pottery, and musicians played harps and flutes during festivals. Cats were sacred, dogs were companions, and monkeys were sometimes kept as exotic pets. Egyptian mythology shaped everyday life. The story of Osiris, murdered, resurrected, and judge of the afterlife, taught moral lessons. Isis, his wife, symbolized loyalty, magic, and protection. Horus represented kingship and the sky. Gods were everywhere, guiding human affairs, agriculture, and health. Egyptians excelled in science and technology. They mastered astronomy, predicting the Nile's flooding, essential for farming. Mathematics allowed construction of precisely aligned pyramids and temples, still puzzling engineers today. Medicine and surgery were advanced, using herbs, minerals, and natural remedies to treat diseases. The construction of pyramids remains a mystery. Moving millions of stone blocks without modern tools required innovation, possibly using ramps, levers, and massive labor forces. Temples and tombs were decorated with hieroglyphics, statues, and paintings, telling stories of gods, pharaohs, and daily life. Following the New Kingdom, Egypt entered the Third Intermediate Period, facing invasions from Nubians, Libyans, and Assyrians. The 26th dynasty restored some glory, but Persia conquered Egypt in 525 BCE. In 332 BCE, Alexander the Great conquered Egypt, founding Alexandria, a hub of learning and culture. After his death, the Ptolemaic dynasty ruled, culminating with Cleopatra VII, the most famous pharaoh. She aligned with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, only to be defeated at the Battle of Actium, ending 3,000 years of pharaonic rule. Egypt became a Roman province, later integrated into the Byzantine Empire, and finally fell to the Muslim Caliphate in 641 AD, transforming Egypt into part of the Islamic world. Yet, the pyramids, temples, and myths continue to fascinate people worldwide. Ancient Egyptians celebrated festivals for Ra, Osiris, and Isis, with music, dancing, and feasts. Artisans decorated tombs with colorful murals. Scribes documented laws, medical practices, and literature. Education emphasized literacy, morality, and religion. People even played board games like Senet, showing Egyptians loved entertainment and leisure. Did you know the Egyptians were early innovators in glassmaking, shipbuilding, and perfumes? They also invented calendar systems to track the Nile's flooding. Cats were so sacred that killing one could be punishable by death, and some pharaohs, like Ramesses III, faced conspiracies and assassinations that shaped history. The mysteries of the pyramids and Sphinx remain unsolved. How were the stones moved? How did pharaohs plan their tombs with such precision? Ancient texts hint at rituals, astronomy, and complex mathematics guiding construction. Egypt's secrets continue to inspire historians, archaeologists, and travelers alike. From hunter-gatherers in the Green Sahara to mighty pharaohs, Egypt's story is one of resilience, creativity, and vision. Their religion, writing, architecture, and governance influence civilizations around the world. The Nile, pyramids, temples, and myths remain timeless symbols of human achievement. Imagine walking along the Nile, seeing pyramids rising against the sun, priests performing rituals, and markets bustling with traders. Ancient Egypt was not just a civilization, it was a living, breathing world of art, science, politics, and faith. A story that still captivates us today. And that's the story of ancient Egypt, a civilization that rose, thrived, and left a legacy that continues to inspire and fascinate the world. From monumental pyramids to legendary pharaohs, and from vibrant festivals to enduring myths, Egypt remains an eternal wonder. If you love this journey through time, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and explore our next video for even more incredible stories from the ancient world.